Okay, this video is for our texture target. If you look in Schoology, you'll see some of the examples. So I'm going to show you how to create your texture target in Photoshop. So your first step is going to be to open up a new canvas, a blank canvas. So we're going to go to File, going to go to New, and we're going to create an 8x8 canvas. So if you don't see that within your photos, you're going to make it yourself. So I've already made one before, but I'm going to make it up here over on the right hand side. You're going to go 8x8, and you can even rename it at the preset details. So I'm going to go texture target, and then I'm going to press create. So now you have an 8x8 canvas. The next thing we're going to do is set up guides so that when we're creating our circles, they are perfectly centered. So in order to set up your guide, you're going to go to your view, and you're going to go to where it says guides, and you're going to scroll down to where it says new guide. So view, guides, new guide. And we're going to set our horizontal first. So this was 8x8, so 4 would be in the center. So we're going to go 4.0, and you make sure you put inches, IN, and press OK. And then we're going to do it again. So we're going to go view, guides, new guide. This time we're going to go vertical. Again, we want it in the center. We're going to go 4.0, and then again IN because it's inches. So now we have a perfectly divided grid. You can go ahead and open up the tabs of the images that you're going to use for your texture. So there's 2 of mine right there. But before we import those texture pictures into our image, we're going to create circles. You're going to want to make sure that your tools are visible, and then also your layers palette. So make sure if you don't see your layers palette, if you see it on the side, click on it or go to window and make sure that you have layers. So window and layers. I'm also going to make sure that on my toolbar, my foreground background is black to white, as long as the darker color is forward so you can see it. And I'm going to be using my ellipse tool, and your ellipse tool, if you can't find it, it's one of your shape tools. Okay, it's different than the circle or the marquee tools. This is creating a shape. So you can search for ellipse tool or go down to the bottom, click on those 3 little dots and scroll down in order to find the ellipse tool. And if you look on the side, it tells you the letter U is the shortcut. So if you click on the toolbar and you press U, it will bring you to your shape tools. So in order to create your first shape, the biggest circle, you're going to place your target right in the center. Okay, you're going to hold down Shift on your keyboard, and you're going to start to make your circle. Once you've started making your circle, you're going to hit Option, and Option is going to center it for you. When you let go, it's going to make it black. So again, I'm going to show you again. I'm going to place it in the center. I'm going to hold down Shift as I start to pull on my trackpad and make the image bigger, and then Option in order to keep it centered and make the circle bigger. You want to try and make it as big as you can because this is going to be the largest. This is going to be the largest of your textures. It's going to be like the background image. Okay, so we have our circle. So now we need to put the texture inside of it. So I'm going to go over to my flower. That's the first one I'm going to do. I'm going to go Command A in order to select it, Command C to copy, and I'm going to go over to my texture target, and I'm going to go Command V to paste. You also can click and drag if you want. We want to make this the entire size, so if you click on your move tool, it's going to create your binding box and you can pull from the sides, or if you don't find that, you can go Command T, which is transform. I'm going to make it that big, press return to accept it, and then what I want to do is I'm going to go over to my layers palette because I want to clip that layer 1 to my circle. So in order to do that, I'm going to go up to where it says layer, and I'm going to go to where it says create clipping mask. Okay, so we have our first one done. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make another one. So again, I'm going to go back down to my ellipse tool. I'm going to hold down shift in order to make a circle. I hold down option then in order to make it centered. I'm going to go to my fence picture. I'm going to go Command A to select, Command C to copy, or you can click and drag it over, Command V to paste. I'm going to go to my move tool to make my binding box, or you can go Command T. And I want to make this fit. I'm going to click on my layers palette. I'm going to go up to where it says layer, and whoops, I'm going to press return. I'm going to go up to where it says layer, and I'm going to create a clipping mask. You're going to keep doing that. You should have 5 layers. I'm not going to finish doing the layers, but I'll show you the next one because I want to show you then your next step, which is to make the effects. So I'll do my last one here. I'm going to hold down shift to make my circle. Then I'm going to hold down alt in order to make it bigger. And then I would copy and paste my image with inside. So in order to make these images look like they have dimension, what you're going to do is highlight your first circle. You're going to go down on your layers palette where it says FX, and you're going to create a blending style. I'm going to go to where it says drop shadow, and the drop shadow kind of just helps to make it look like you can see it around the edge right there. When you click on it, you can change the direction, you can change the distance, and you can change the spread. You can also change the size. So it's up to you on how you want, but you're going to add a drop shadow for each one. Another thing that you're going to add is you can have an outline, okay? So what we're going to do for that is we are going to click on stroke, and then for stroke you can decide on what color you want it to be. You can decide how thick or how thin you want it to be. I'm going to do it from here. So I'm going to go to stroke. Mine is in gray. I'm going to click and change the color. Make it red. Actually, I'm going to make it black. And then again, you can change the size. So make it thicker, make it thinner, or you can even place it outside, inside, and that's centered. So I'm going to do outside. Then I'm going to press OK. Then I'm going to click on my next one. I'm going to go to FX. I'm going to hit drop shadow. It will have the same settings that I had before. I'm going to press OK. Then I'm going to go to FX, and I'm going to go to my stroke, and it will have the exact same settings. So if you're okay with those settings, it will be the same, and you can just set it for each one and go to FX. Again, drop shadow, because you already did it, your settings that you liked the first time, and then FX, stroke. And that's it. So when you are finished, you can export it. Make sure you put it in your file folder, save it as a JPEG for Schoology. If you are not finished, save it as a Photoshop file so that you can continue to work on it and have your layers accessible.